Yo, what is up, everybody? Jump in here, and today I'm going to be bringing you the Talon Mercenary. This guy is the ultimate glass cannon. He is amazing. With the update, they made him so much better. Alright, so let's quickly get into the weapon. I recommend really any weapon you want. You will never really have to shoot with this guy. I mean, it's pretty insane, but you do not need to shoot with this guy all that much. But overall, if I was to recommend anything, I would recommend something with low weight. You could even strap on a Predator pistol if you want. That's totally okay. And maybe I would say go for a pistol just so you can get the best of two worlds. That way you can get a little bit of extra melee damage from the melee stunner and a little bit extra power damage from the power magnifier. This is good for your mines, and it does affect your armor-piercing arrows as well. If you wanted to use a shotgun with the super shotgun attachment melee blade, go ahead. I do think for your bow, it does actually increase. I think you get more bang for your buck from that. But I like the power magnifier just for the mines and for a little extra damage to my bow. Alright, let's go ahead and get into the build. I'm using these Cain trip mines. These things are incredible. They are literally little mini nukes. And if you look at the name Cain, you might recognize that from Mass Effect 2 with the, well, mini nuke launcher. So it's pretty awesome. Alright, I go for damage for the first tier. I think this is a good choice. I go for armor damage. It's amazing. And I go for radius. I like the 7.5 meter radius so that if I start spamming these into a room, I can take out the entire spawn. That is how I use these mines. They are my spawn killer. I use them almost like a missile launcher. It's pretty insane. For single targets, I don't really think these are necessary because the bow does so much damage, especially with armor-piercing arrows. These arrows are insane. I go for damage on these, and then I go for armor damage. This is really nice because it increases the damage done to armor, and it weakens armor for weapons. So I call this the Omni-bow because I am helping out all my teammates. It's pretty insane. But these things are so powerful. The main reason why they're incredibly powerful now is because they've upped the arrow count. It used to be the base was 3, and if you would go for this evolution, it would be a maximum of 4. That means 4 arrows you would shoot at once. Now it goes up to 6, so the damage goes up dramatically because of that. So definitely go for arrow count. It is absolutely incredible. For the Elite Mercenary, I go for power damage, and then the charge regeneration. Now this is where weapon weight actually does factor in. Some people I've talked to, they thought that you could maybe strap on 2 heavy weapons and treat them like a demolisher. No, you really shouldn't do that because if you want your regenerating grenades to come back faster, you actually want a lighter weapon. And since you're not going to be shooting much, you can use any type of whack weapon, like a Predator if you wanted to get the 200%. So it's really up to you. But if you look, this is something else that got updated as well. For me, it goes down to 16 seconds. It used to be like 30 seconds or 25 seconds. So it's pretty awesome. Alright, now for the Omni-bow mastery, I just go for all melee damage. This really does factor in and increases the bow damage by dramatically. Alright, now for the equipment I'm going to be using Warp Rounds 1. The ammo, you don't even need ammo. I put on the Warp Rounds 1 because I thought, why not? I have like 200 of these, but you just do not need it because you will not really need to shoot all that much. Strength Enhancer 3, this is very important because the bow does go off of melee damage. Grenade Capacity 5. Everything he uses is counted as a grenade, so this is definitely your best choice. And Power Amp 4. I know it says 3, but it was a 4. Power Amp 4 is really incredible if you want to go for the maximum amount of damage possible. But I would also recommend some type of cyclonic. He is really flimsy. He's a glass cannon. So that will really help you stay alive. And I've also noticed that the mines definitely benefit from this dramatically, but the bow, I don't really think the bow benefits all that much. So with a cyclonic 4, I was doing about the same damage, slightly less. So keep that in mind. You can definitely not use a power amp, and if you're just going to run around with the bow, it's all good. Alright guys, let's go ahead and get into the gameplay. Alrighty guys, this is going to be the gameplay. It's going to be on Hydra, and it's going to be against Reapers. Now I know some of you guys might be kind of pissed at me saying, Jumpin', why do you always do the same maps? The truth of the matter is this, guys. Since I've come back to Mass Effect and I've been playing it again, I've only really had a lot of fun playing Glacier, White, and Hydra. I don't know why, but these are the maps that I normally play the best on, so these are the maps I'm going to probably demonstrate most things on.
Holy shit.
That is insane. These mines are so epic. I don't really know what's the best part about this guy now. I really don't. Is it the bow or is the mines? Because the mines are definitely ridiculous, but they were always ridiculous. I mean, just the secret to the mines. I'll start with that. There is something very important you guys have to know, and I would imagine some people might have tried this guy. They didn't know it, and because they didn't know this, they probably might not like this guy. But the secret to the mines is that you actually want to spam them, especially at the big spawns. Just like you would maybe grenades. You would just sit there, you see a ginormous group of enemies, and you just start chucking all your nades into the enemies until they all die. With the mines, it's kind of the same thing. The difference is this. The way that they're set up, the idea is that you can, for one, if you wanted to, camp with them or play defensive with them and sit in a room and set up the room and all that, and you would be golden, right? That's true. There's no problem with that if you want to do that. I won't judge you. I don't really care. This guy would definitely be amazing for platinum for things like that. That's for sure. He's pretty much kind of set up for platinum in a lot of ways. His bow does so much damage. His mines do a lot of damage. He definitely is pretty amazing in general for, I would imagine, platinum. I haven't tried him, but I would imagine he'd be really, really good. So anyway, but here's the secret to the mines. If you come across a big group of enemies, or if you come across the spawn, whatever, what you want to do is that you want to shoot 3 of the mines right at the spawn. So right underneath where all the enemies are. And then if you shoot a 4th mine, the 4th mine will go off. Actually, what happens is this. You can only have 3 mines on the map at once. So if by you shooting a 4th mine, that will actually detonate the first mine that you shot. So as long as that very first mine that you shot was actually set up right below all the enemies, you will, well, blow them all up. And then you can do this as many times as you want. So what that means is that you can actually sit there and you can see a ginormous group of bosses and big enemies and just spam the mines. You can shoot like 7 of them at the group. And by doing that, you will blow up 3 of your mines. And 3 of the mines is honestly like powerful enough on gold to pretty much kill almost everything in that room. Maybe not the bosses, but I mean you could just keep doing it until the entire room is dead. And another great thing about platinum with this guy would be that if you ever were trying to play defensive or, you know, camping, whatever you want to call it, you could like probably bunker up, and if you ever get surrounded, instead of using a missile, you just start spamming all the damn mines and you would kill everything. Now what you just saw, yeah, that's true guys, believe this or not, the Omni-bow is so incredible now, it can 3-shot a brute. Oh my freaking god. You gotta understand what that means. Or at least the way I take that. This bow has to do at least anywhere from 3,500 damage to 4,000 damage a shot. Now, it pretty much one-hits all enemies. All small enemies like Centaurians, Nemesis, Combat Troopers, Marauders, Cannibals, Husks, Collector Troopers, Collector Generals, Abominations, Geth Hunters, Geth Troopers, Rocket Troopers, Pyros. It pretty much one-hits almost all those enemies I just named off. And it can 3-shot a brute. It can 4-shot a Scion. If you take the shield down of an Atlas, it can 4-shot an Atlas. Now this is all on gold, but I would imagine on platinum, what would it be? 5, 6 shots, maybe 7 for these ginormous bosses? It's insane how much damage the bow does now. And the main thing that they did to change it was that it used to be that you would have to charge up the shot for 3 seconds and then you could shoot it off. Now, what that really did, honestly, was that is what caused that glitch. That glitch that was occurring where you could, if you were playing off-host, you could get stuck in an animation and you couldn't do anything and you would just be totally screwed for like 10 seconds. That was, I would imagine that was primarily caused by the fact that the bow had to charge up. Now, the bow shoots pretty much instantly. And because of that, I would imagine that that whole terrible glitch would be fixed. So that is amazing. Now, in reality, although it shoots instantly, it still takes about 1 second to actually fire and then recover. So you have to remember that. Because if you were judging it off of like the actual time that it takes to shoot, which is like 0.35 of a second, whatever, that would actually mean that this thing, let's say it did do anywhere from 3,500 to 4,000 damage. If you were judging off of that, you're talking about like 10, 12,000 damage a second. Like, that would be the most insane damage ever. But like I said, in reality, it's more or less a second or 1.5 seconds, something like that, overall.
Holy shit.
Look at these mines. This is about to be really ridiculous, guys. I'm about to kill every single thing on this map, practically.
Monster kill.
Now, this is what I'm talking about. Just by me spamming these mines, like just spamming and spamming and spamming, I can kill everything that was in that general area. Unbelievable. And the way that I like, this is what I do. Like I said, I use the mines to take out the big spawns or big groups of enemies. Anytime I see anything like that, I just spam the shit out the mines until everything dies. If it's one enemy or just a couple small enemies and I don't feel like sitting there and spamming 7 mines, because normally it takes, when I'm going to spam mines, I spam anywhere from 7 to literally all 10 of them at the group just to kill them all. So normally, like, what I like to do is I use the Omni-bow for actually taking out the smaller enemies, because I can pretty much one-shot all of them. And if it's a Ravager, I can 2-shot it. If it's a Brute, I can 3-shot it. It's pretty insane. Now, one thing you also have to know, it is also important, is that although the bow works really, really amazing now, it is absolutely amazing now, it is dependent, I would imagine, a little bit off of host. So if you're not playing host, it probably won't register as well as what you're seeing in this video. That's important to know, because like, but I do know it works. I do know that it works really well, because my friends were playing this guy like all day yesterday. I mean, they were playing this guy so much since he's been updated. It's like everyone is playing this guy. I would imagine everyone should play this guy for the next 2 weeks. The reason why I say that is because if you remember what happened with the Alliance Infiltration Unit, I would imagine that the Nerf army is going to be screaming about this guy, you know, nerf all the things, It's pretty insane, because from his buff and everything they've done to him, I can honestly say with a lot of confidence, I feel that this guy is now the best new Reckoning DLC character that has come out. The bow is just too incredible. The mines are just incredibly powerful. Everything about this guy now is unbelievable. I mean, just look at this.
Monster kill.
Oh my god, I don't even know how I didn't get a kill streak from that. I really don't. Like, there's like a billion enemies over there, and I killed almost all of them, and they just keep spawning. So if I wanted to, I can just I can use another thermal pack and just keep spamming mines over there and just keep killing that spawn over and over again. It's unbelievable. I don't know, guys, like, I'm just so excited over this guy. I absolutely love him, and I would hate to see BioWare, nerf this guy or something. I would hate to see that, because for one, it's going to make them look kind of bad. They have done this before in the past, like they buffed the Piranha, then they nerfed it, because they had to, for whatever reason, because of the Nerf army. So with this guy, I don't want to see them have to do that again, where everyone complained that he was underpowered, and the only thing good about him was the mines.
Ludicrous kill.
But yeah, everybody was complaining, saying that they couldn't use the bow, it was totally worthless, the mines were the only thing good, he was so squishy, blah 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 blah, he was the worst one that came out, all these things. So they buff him. And now that they buffed him, he's so amazing that the Sir Nerf-a-lots are gonna like just go crazy over this guy. And they're gonna complain and complain and complain, and he's probably gonna have to be nerfed. And I hate that, I really do. But I mean, I gotta be honest with you guys. I can't sit here and say that this is something that won't happen, because I strongly feel that if people had a problem with the AIU, then they're gonna have a big time problem with this guy. And the hilarious part about the Alliance Infiltration Unit is that she was nerfed, or at least Repair Matrix was nerfed, and everyone is complaining about that now. The people who wanted the nerf are extremely pissed because they feel like she wasn't nerfed enough, and they made a really bad bad decision on the nerf. By lowering the duration of repair matrix, people are now saying, well, if you lower the duration of the repair matrix, then all these random scrubs are gonna have to run and get all the grenades out the boxes, and I'll never have grenades now. So that's a big complaint that people are having. They're looking at it from that aspect. And to be quite honest, I've played with the AIU since they nerfed her, and I really think that she's amazing still. She's not really nerfed that badly. I mean, yeah, she lost a little bit of damage protection. Her shield regeneration isn't as good, but she still gets shield regeneration from a grenade-like power. It's amazing. And she still gets up, you know? She gets up from when she dies. All you gotta do is just time it. Like, if you're taking, like, damage with her, use one of the repair matrices. If you are about to die, try to use one of the repair matrices and you'll get back up. So she still is, like, literally as good. Now, one thing I should probably say about this guy is that his light melee is, I won't say it's worthless, but it's definitely not as good as the heavy melee. Primarily because it spreads out more like a shotgun, so you tend to miss almost every shot that you try to do. And also, swarmers are your enemy with this guy. I freaking hate swarmers. 2 reasons. The first reason is that he's so flimsy that they eat the shit out of him. And the second reason is, well, and this is a big one, they fuck up your aim so bad because you do rely solely off of the whole red outline of the enemy to be able to hit them. So swarmers will get in the way of that quite a bit when you play with this guy. Another thing about this guy is I really do personally feel that all the PC players will not want to play with this guy still, because from what I've heard, his whole key binding, or I don't know exactly, I don't play on the PC, but I know that on the PC the players can like set up their own keys and controls, and with him they can't actually do that. They have to play by the default controls. And, like, I guess no one on PC plays really with the default controls, or at least they hate it. So, that's just the thing about that. So, I would imagine that a lot of people would not like him for the PC. But for the consoles of PS3 and Xbox, he is just amazing. Believe me, from my testing with him, this is what I realized. You gotta remember, this is on host. Because remember, off host, I would say his bow would not register as well. It still is really good, though. But sometimes it would probably take you 2 shots, because if you don't connect with all 6 of the arrows that you shoot to like an enemy like a marauder, you probably won't kill him. You probably take him down to really low health. God, he gets dropped really quick.
Holy shit.
It's a little balanced in the sense that he's such a glass cannon. I mean, he really is. He's so flimsy. But, honestly, like I said, if you strap on that Cyclonic 4, it really can help you a lot. And from my testing, what I've realized is that even without the Power Ant 4 on, my Omni-bow could still consistently 2-shot a Ravager and consistently 3-shot a Brute. You know, sometimes sometimes if I missed one of the arrows, because even on host you can miss the arrows. It's something that can easily happen. And I noticed that sometimes, yeah, like it would take me 4 shots or 2 shots to a Marauder. So, I mean, I don't know. The mines are what really benefit, from what I've noticed, from like a Power Ant 4. The mines are just so insanely powerful. You put that Power Ant 4 on, they're going to be even more powerful. It makes it easier. Really, it doesn't really make it easier to take out a spawn, because no matter what you do, you can still take out the spawns without any type of Power Amp on. Look at that. Oh my god. But you can still take out the spawns without a Power Amp. You don't really need it. But you can take out the spawns quicker with less like mines needed. So that always helps a little bit, to be quite honest. I mean, normally when I play casually, I don't care about dying. But when I'm recording like the videos, I'm so nitpicky now. Like I don't know what's wrong with me. I just care too much now. I don't, like I want to get a gameplay where I don't die and I kill all the things, you know. And it's a little bit of a shame because it makes it a little bit more challenging on me. Because when I play casually, like I said, if I was playing this guy, I would probably die 6 times in the game and not care. Like, okay, I died 6 times. Whatever. I still was able to run around and blow everything up and have a lot of fun with the bow. The bow is incredibly fun. It really is. Concussive arrows, I haven't really tried them all that much. A couple of my friends were telling me that they thought that they weren't as good. you could try them if you want. From what I've experienced with the armor-piercing arrows and the fact that they can take out literally most enemies in one shot and the big enemies so quickly. I mean, Scions, I think they have like some of the most armor, and it can consistently take them out in 4 shots. And everything else, for the most part, against besides the bosses, yeah, you can take them out in like 1 shot to 2 shots. It's pretty nuts. One thing about the bow as well I should mention is that it does not really work that well against, it's actually kind of awful against phantoms and banshees. Oh my god.
Ludicrous kill.
The main reason why the bow doesn't work well against the phantoms and the banshees is because they can like absorb damage, power damage, melee damage, primarily power damage. Like what happens with the phantoms is that you shoot it, they do their little flip or whatever, you totally miss, you don't do any damage to them. So against phantoms normally you kind of need to spam the mine, and that's kind of unfortunate. So he works really well on almost all the factions, but if I was to say there was one faction I don't really like him that much on, it is Cerberus, because too many times you'll have phantoms on you and they kill you so quick, and you really don't want to have to spam mines to kill 1 enemy or just 2 enemies. It's something you really don't want to do, because then it's a nightmare collecting grenades and using your thermal packs and all that. It's a nightmare. So phantoms are definitely annoying. Banshees, they absorb a lot of damage, so you'll shoot them sometimes and do no damage, and you guys should know that by now, because like they'll eat explosions, they will just eat an insane amount of damage at times. Anyway guys, overall the Talon Merc, in my opinion, is probably now officially, because of the update, hands down the best new guy that has come out. I've been really trying to avoid saying this, but he's fucking broken. Ah, I love him. He's so amazing. Honestly, guys, I had to say that because he's so awesome. I love everything about him. The bow is so much fun now. It's so amazing. I really hope that the Sir Nerfalots don't get on this guy, but I know they probably will, unfortunately. But I'm so glad I saved him for the last one, because I literally feel almost like the very first DLC that came out for this game. Since this is the last DLC.
Ludicrous kill.
Oh my god, goodbye all you stupid reapers.
Monster kill.
But anyway guys, I feel like this is a lot like the first DLC, because believe it or not, when I did the first DLC, I can't remember what it was called. Was it Rebellion, or I can't even remember at this point. Resurgence. I think it was the Resurgence DLC. I saved the Geth Infiltrator for last, and he turned out to be the best one. And right now, I'm feeling the same way. Like, I saved the Talon Merc for last, and now he's the best one. Like, at least that's how I feel. So, absolutely amazing. Highly recommend you try this guy. He's better on host, but he does work off host. He works pretty well. It just doesn't register as well. So sometimes he might take 2 shots for normal enemies, and sometimes he might take 4 shots for brutes. All that. But I really hope you guys have enjoyed this. Please give me that like. Please give me that favorite. And you guys have a wonderful day.